Most markets rise as the US sends tariff letters to over a dozen countries, setting out the rates the US intends to charge if they don't reach a deal by the new date of August 1st, extending once again the pause on Donald Trump's Liberation Day taxes. 3 more weeks now given to governments to hammer out a deal. Well, to get the latest on the impact that all of that is having, we can speak to Chief Market Analyst at GTC, Jameel Ahmad. Jameel, tariff deadline extended, but markets remaining nervous.
Yes, they are nervous, and the reason for this is because you've seen overnight that more than a dozen different letters have been posted on social media. The positive spin to take on this is that we now have some sort of understanding which trading partners the United States is negotiating with and which ones seem to not be negotiating very well with, given that these are the 14 countries that have been named overnight. Because before last night, we actually didn't understand exactly where the negotiations were heading, because we know that the United States were negotiating with more than a dozen different trading partners at once. So at least now we know which trading partners are at what part of the trade deal. Of course, these letters could also be one final push from the administration as a negotiation tactic. They have been known to be negotiating hard throughout these past 3 or 4 months. I would also look at the market reaction, although some are saying it's a little bit muted. We do also need to understand that we're seeing more weakness in the US dollar. The US dollar has also had its worst first half of the trading year since around 50 years, especially under a new presidency, the returning Donald Trump presidency. And I think that we are looking at more weakness because all of the institutions, the chorus is the same. That is the United States economy that's going to be hit the hardest, at least at first, from these trade tariffs. And as you're seeing, there's a number of different trade tariffs that are going to be applied in around 3 weeks from now on 14 different trading nations.
So enlighten us, Jameel, what countries are being targeted and by how much?
In terms of the global economy, what we're seeing right now is that you've got South Korea and Japan. I would say those are the major trading partners of the world economy. They've got levies of around 25%. Aside from that, all of the different levies and tariffs on the other 12 different trading nations are a little bit lower than the threats that were made on Liberation Day, which was April the 2nd, apart from South Africa, that remains stagnant at 30%. But it stretches from Indonesia, Laos, Myanmar, South Korea, Thailand. We're looking at a lot of South Asian economies at the moment. Again, one of the shining lights, at least with this news we've had overnight, is that we understand exactly which trading partners now are negotiating at what stage. And it does also seem that the European Union, which has been the elephant in the room in terms of us having no information towards where the negotiations stand, has been left out of these new threatened tariffs.
Interesting. Meanwhile, Jameel, Elon Musk's spat with Donald Trump seems to be getting worse, and that's adding to jitters on the markets.
It is. It's that unexpected bromance that we saw at the end of 2024. It's having a big breakup so far in 2025. The latest indications from the weekend have been that the threats around a potential deportation, and then Musk has responded saying that he's going to form his own political party because he does not agree with this big, beautiful bill that's going to raise the US debt ceiling even further. We're looking at more than 2.5 added trillion of US debt, at least under the Trump administration. So far, we did see negative performance on the Tesla shares, but let's see whether this political party is actually formed and what momentum it makes. But one indication is that the Trump administration might start to, I would say, weaponize tariffs or threaten some of the products that Tesla and most other companies are known to export and produce.